order as they go into Druids on the opening lap. So Clark once again in the lead, and Taylor once again playing the bridesmaid. Now come on, Jerry. And in third place, Richard Sykes. Fourth is number 53, Dave Hughes. Fifth is, I think, I don't think it was Matthew Upchurch. I'm trying to think who it was in fifth place. Maybe it is. Huh? Ah, it could be Richard Siren, and let's face it, that's number 99, and the leader of the 924s should have recognised that. So, no, it's number 30, Matthew Upchurch in fifth place, and then Alfred Peisinger in sixth, number 18. Seventh is Mr. Styron, Richard Styron, leading the 924s from eighth, number 85, Nick Hull, who is not the last of the Boxsters. That honour goes to Martin Braybrook, who's way down in 16th place. But the order for the 924s is Peisinger, Styron, Hannington, Flegg, Croft, Pert, Siddall, who presumably this time is not starting from the pits and therefore in with a better chance. So up they come towards the line at the end of 2 laps. And it is David Clark leading from Jerry Taylor, but it's Richard Sykes who sets the fastest lap. Remember, he did that in the early stages of the last race at 54.854, but he couldn't sustain it. He was a bit more, inconsistent, I suppose, would be the fairest way of describing it. This time he seems to be hanging on better. Let's hope it lasts. Then coming down the hill in 4th place, it is Dave Hughes in car number 53. Next up is 85. He's doing well, Nick Hull, recovering a little there. And then we see the 924s. So that's 2 consistent fastest laps. I'm having to eat my words here, but as they come down the hill, David Clark is not getting away. Jerry Taylor's a length and a half down in 2nd place, and a similar amount before we see Richard Sykes in number 21. Those 3 going along Cooper Straight. Then we have quite a long wait before we get back to number 53. Dave Hughes, followed by 85, Nick Hull, then 99, Richard Styron, from 18 and 22. 18, Alfred Peisinger, and 22, Andrew Hannington. And those are the top 3, Styron, Peisinger, and Hannington in the 924s.
And Matthew Upchurch, number 30, the only Class C car, retired into the pits after a very slow lap.
Oh, yeah, yes. Bad luck, Matthew. Right. After Styron, we then have 18, Peisinger, and 22, Hannington, and they're having a right old punch up. And also in there is number 3, Flegg. And those 4 cars are separated by not a lot. In fact, 1.6, 1.78, 2.28, 2.3 seconds only. Between the 3 of them, so let's see how that heats up. And here come the leaders, and Richard Sykes is getting close to Jerry Taylor. The gap just a quarter of a second, but Dave Clark almost comfortable there with a half a second advantage over the Taylor's Foundry man. And we've had 5 laps, and we have 10 minutes remaining and a half. No, 10 minutes. 10 minutes now. Down the hill they come, into Graham Hill Bend. And as they've been remarkably well behaved by and large in terms of staying within the boundaries of what the MSA at times determined is the limits of racing. It always was the limits of racing, the white line. Oh, Styron's dropped down too, number 99.
He's in the pits.
He's in the pits. Thank you very much for that. So, Dave Clark from Jerry Taylor, Richard Sykes, then in 4th place, Dave Hughes, number 53. 5th is number 85, and that is Nick Hull. 6th is Peisinger, now leading the 924 race, number 18. Then 22, Hannington. Remember, Andrew was leading the championship at the beginning of the day. And then number 3, Ian Flegg. Is it Ian Flegg? No, Jason Flegg. From number 4, Adam Croft. Braybrook has managed to get up to 10th and is gradually making his way up into the 924s to try and get back with his classmates. With 8.5 minutes remaining as the leaders come up again to cross the line. 7 laps completed. And who's got the fastest lap of the race so far? Richard Sykes on lap 3, so no improvement on that. David Clark's just done his personal fastest lap at 54.9. Jerry Taylor, 0.6 of a second adrift. Richard Sykes, 0.6 of a second adrift of him. Then Dave Hughes, who's quite a long way behind, but he's not far ahead of Nick Hull. There they are, going through Paddock Hill Bend at the moment, up the hill to the hairpin. Then behind them, we've got the battle between 18 and 22, and it looks as though it's building up with 22 trying to go up on the inside, but number 18, Alfred Peisinger, gets across to frustrate that overtaking maneuver. So, Andrew Hannington says, I'll have to think about this again. But at the moment, Alfred Peisinger stays ahead. Now, can Hannington do anything about it on the outside or the inside of the corner going into Surtees? No, he doesn't even try. What about going up into McLaren and Clearways? Looks up the inside, decides against it, and follows number 18 through. And not that far away behind the pair of them is number 3, Jason Flegg.
As the race leader comes up to catch a gaggle of 4 cars, all of who've been racing one another vigorously over the past few laps. Should be an interesting game here.
Absolutely, and we've got, and I think he's going to get held up. He decides to go high, and he read that very well, and diving through goes Jerry Taylor, so that he doesn't get disadvantaged, and there's only a length in it as they go through Paddock Hill Bend. But in their own battle, there was a right old mishmash going on there. Mackenzie Siddle, no, let me have a look, see.
Well, Sykes came out of it very badly. He's now lost a lot of ground.
Oh dear, Richard, you certainly lost out there. It was a battle between 36, 10, 11 and 12. 36 in 12th place, 10, 11 and 12 in 13th, 14th and 15th places. And those 4 were having a terrific battle, and the 4 of them separated by not much more than a second. So every bit entitled to have their own race as the leader crosses the line at the end of lap 10. 5 minutes and very nearly, well, a little bit over a half remaining. 10 laps completed, and the order remains the same. But Richard Sykes, as you rightly pointed out, Martin, has dropped back by 1.9 seconds in 3rd place. And a neat manoeuvre by Dave Clark there, and it's Clegg who gets, no, it's not, his number 2, and that's Mark Marshall. He very nearly split the 2 leaders. He certainly gave, a tad's advantage to David Clark, and so now Jerry Taylor is having to work very hard indeed to try and close that gap. We're under 5 minutes remaining, and so Jerry hasn't got any time to waste. He must crack on as they cross the line. The gap out to very nearly 0.7 of a second. And Richard Sykes, well, he is a second and a half behind Jerry Taylor. I think that may just have come down a bit, and that may be down to some of the traffic. Of course, Richard Sykes lost out in the traffic but maybe he's getting a little bit of that advantage subsequently.
Right, Richard Sykes has been shown the driver warning flag.
Oh really? Number 4 is ahead of him, and that's Croft, Adam Croft, but he's safely past him now. Of course, the driver warning flag shouldn't worry them. What it is an indicator that they've got to be careful about using too much of the track. Now, Jerry Taylor right on the tail, he pulls out, maybe a bit too early, and so he lacks the pace to find a way past David Clark, but he's on the pace through Paddock Hill Bend. He's closing the gap as they go up the hill, but Dave Clark tries to get across. He does so, he goes in tight, but so Jerry Taylor really a bit frustrated there. He seems to be carrying the pace at this stage in the race. David Clark through Graham Hill Bend, Jerry Taylor a length and a half maybe, little over a length certainly, as they go through the left-hander at Surtees, with 3 1/4 minutes remaining. Up into McLaren, Clearways, and there's half a length in it maybe. It's a very marginal difference between these two at the moment, but the advantage clearly lying with David Clark. Across the line they go, into Paddock Hill Bend. I really think Dave was a bit earlier on the brakes, but you know, because you're on the brakes earlier, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not as quick. Sometimes it's better to be slow on the brakes, but slow and even on the brake pedal. Now coming down the hill into traffic, here they come. It's Heisinger, Hannington, and then number 2, and then 69 they're finding a way past Jones. No, they're already past him, but now just ahead of them is Heisinger, then 10 Mackenzie and 12 Hanson. I think those are the 3 as they come up onto Brabham Straight with 2 minutes remaining by the time they cross the line. Dave Clark, number 41, leading from Jerry Taylor, number 16. They have to go tight into Graham Hill Bend because of the opposition, and Jerry found that a little bit more difficult. Just a tad's advantage there in favour of the race. Back in a little bit, and down through Graham Hill Bend. Really, Jerry Taylor is running out of time, very much as he did in the last race. Can he find something, that little something that enables him to really have a good go up into Clearways, on the power, and gap over a length, maybe a length and a half, as they come onto Brabham Straight. This is where he needs it. Across the line, and there's just over a minute remaining, so they should get 2 more laps. And as he goes down through the bottom of Paddock and up the hill, very much there, he tries to get up alongside going into the hairpin. Always a bit of a risky manoeuvre, but he's still right on the tail of Dave Clark, and he's been a tad more adventurous in this race than he was in the first, but still unable to find a solution to his problem.
Sufficiently adventurous to get the driver warning flag.
But then, I don't know what they gave him for, so there you go. Right, we're coming up now definitely to the last lap, because there are only 18 seconds remaining, and so it'll be the last lap board going out now, I think.
Yes.
And across the line. Now then, Jerry Taylor, your last effort was frustrated because the red flag came out. The race was stopped. Well, you've got this last chance. Can you do something with it? He looks up the inside, but then they're passing a slower car. And oh dear, very clever. Dave Clark goes very slowly through the hairpin, trying to stay alongside the slower car. It's closed all 3 up. Richard Sykes is with them now, but that was a definite tactical manoeuvre there. So through the left-hander they go at Surtees. Dave Clark, this is the last chance to learn. Jerry Taylor's not close enough, and I don't think he's got the power in a straight line to be able to out-drag him onto Brabham Straight and to the checkered flag, but let's see whether he can. He's there, he's trying, but it's going to be Dave Clark just from Jerry Taylor and Richard Sykes. The three cars separated by just 0.7 of a second.